Hello, everybody. Welcome back to VR Master League. Continuing our streak of games tonight here in North America with Invictus versus Space Force coming up right now. So on the casting booth, I'm Palidore here, and joining me this time for this cast is going to be Dano McFabulous of Team Chaos here in North America. And Dano, how's it going tonight?
Hey Palidore, it is going great. I've been seeing a couple of good games tonight. I'm really excited for this matchup. I know both of these teams fairly well. Invictus is a team that we have scrimmed with many, many times. Same thing with Space Force, scrimmed against, matched against, challenge match. But Space Force in particular is one of those teams that started our trend of winning or losing by 1 point. So very excited to see. They were our 5 times OT, and I think they were our first one that we won by 1 point. That was the start of the streak, but then we started losing.
So I'm not sure what to take away from that, except they're a team.
Excitement. Yeah,
they're a team that you play.
That is a team.
Yeah. Oh no, there is no team now. That's coming up a little bit later tonight, so don't get too ahead of yourself. But I'm excited too. I'm excited too. Over in the Twitch chat, seeing Alikos saying, "Hey there, hey back. How's it going, Alikos?" They're from Fusion, Team Fusion over in Europe, and Andy Double Ya, who we just saw over on Infinite. Wow, that came out totally. Anyways, Infinite, how's it going, Andy W? Just ignore me. Anyway, hi, son. We'll go over here to the first round. We're just gonna start this. Just please ignore me. I don't like the fact that that's how I started this stream. But anyways, will be a launch going out, and Dano. Well, again, you say you scrimmed these teams before, and what are you? Not to put you on the spot, but what are your casters' predictions?
My prediction, it's gonna be a very.
Andy.
I think we're gonna see a very close game. We're gonna see some back and forth. My prediction, in the end, is gonna have to be for Invictus, I think. But it's gonna be close. It could go either way, but that's my guess.
All right. Well, we will see. Indeed. I mean, both of these teams. Andy. Anyway, he could have gone with very different. Forget it. So Aeronite will take the disc over here. He's having it stolen by Swagger. And off to the midline it'll go. If only my hands weren't on this gamepad right now, Andy, I swear. But Andy, that's the last I'm going to say your name tonight. Anime for life over to the barrier, and a nice anchor shot from Aeronite.
Great start for Space Force. They had some good passing and control there, going from below the goal on the bunker there and getting that 2-point lead with 1 minute in.
There, it's like it never happened, W. Anyway, good game though. Yeah. It will be.
All right. King Crispy.
Yes, King Crispy.
Throwing it down to Cyanide. Oh, but blocked by Aeronite. Aeronite with that midline defense. Passing that out or just clearing it out, hoping that his teammates are nearby. It's going to be a race for the disc. Picked up by Pyro, but stunned out by Cyanide, who's going to clear it down. Oh, thought he was going to clear it. Now he cleared it down the other end.
I think saw the defense kind of in the way. They were piling up there through the mail slot of sorts, just peeking through. So hesitated, tried to look for a clear and just wait for his team to kind of get the disc maybe. But it will instead be over to Anime for Life, who's been having himself a very nice season, a debut here. Coming back into North America. He's been a long-time player and really happy to see him on Space Force and on a team as he goes for one passing play, and that is classic Anime. Always known him since the early days as a very good passer.
Yeah, there's a beautiful cut pass right behind the goal for that behind-the-goal point, putting Space Force ahead by 4 points now with just under 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, so 750 and just 4 points for Space Force. Again, seeing if the caster's curse applies to more than just myself with your prediction there. Don't know yet. But yeah, I gotta say for Space Force, they had a victory. Some victories the other week. It was against There Is No Team. Again, we'll see later on. I think one of their better victories that I've seen from Space Force, and they've been, when they're on, they can really dominate at times, but it's just sometimes finding that consistency in the passes and things like that. And if they can get that together, Space Force is an extremely good team.
Oh, absolutely. They have some great teamwork, some great defense. Like you said, when they put it on, it's on. But I do have to say the same for Invictus. I feel like maybe they might be a little cold right now. It looks like Space Force is nice and warmed up. Maybe that's the case. We shall see. We're only 3 minutes in.
Yeah, so a lot of time With that said, and not a lot of points on the board as of yet, might change here with a 6 points now for Polar Bear. Just dunking in that 2 right off the boost.
Starting to feel bad here if the caster's curse. It's going the opposite direction for Invictus. But
yeah,
there's still 6.5 minutes left, which is plenty of time. 6.5 minutes in Echo Arena is plenty of time to make plenty of points happen.
Oh, absolutely. And we know, just watching some of these players from Invictus, so they've had some fun matches in recent weeks and over the course of this season, really. And just the same, talking about Anime earlier, good to see him on a team, but there's a lot of actual veteranship here in Invictus as well. Players have been playing for a good while, haven't really gotten too involved in competitive play, so it's really nice to see there, because they're definitely making a name for themselves as well.
Absolutely, more players in the area. Oh, and a great read there by Arrow Knight, once again, intercepting that pass, clearing it all the way down into Invictus's bubble. But it is going to be picked up by Invictus and cleared down the tunnel, but bouncing right back into their area and picked up by Polar Bear.
And Polar Bear, so we know for Ender's slot over there, he's the man with over 10,000 games, hence being level 51, kind of awarded to him. But I was informed before, as this actually deep clear goes out, so hold on to that thought. Trying to meet the stack halfway, will get it first, Swagger, but couldn't find it. But Polar Bear, I believe, also maybe the second most public games, allegedly, if Dimwee wasn't trolling me. But,
that was a very tough shot over there, but nonetheless, they've recollected. Oh, never mind, back into Arrow Knight again with that midline defense, but Swagger taking it right back from Arrow Knight, clearing it down into Space Force's bubble. If Invictus can boost down and get this disc, they might be able to get some points on the board, but stolen by Pyro and into the hands of Enderslot now, who is going to try and clear it down, but King Crispy, this is just back and forth. But now we are in the bubble of Space Force with Invictus. Can they get 2? Yes, they can. Putting 2 points on the board, lowering Space Force's lead down to 6-2, only 4 points.
Man, trying to keep up with that entire series is you'd have to be an auctioneer. Either that or I need to start spouting off Rap God in casting form. That was just some quick turnovers, followed by more turnovers, followed by the restart. So we're going to go over to the timer here. I'm not sure what happened, didn't hear any comms, but we will have the 5 minutes on the clock just to measure that, I guess. But we'll see what happens.
Pyro was having severe tracking issues, but has now recovered.
Oh. Looks like we're having tracking issues, but he has already recovered.
Is that what you said?
Oh, I barely got to use the clock.
Okay. I was asking.
Oh, right. I won't see the clock. I was like, what clock?
The clock, Dano.
I know the clock now.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, no problem. He can reset.
Looks like they're just discussing the time and the points, coming to an agreement.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right here. It was, at the time of the goal, it was a 6-2 Space Force, 451. So I can ping them that real quick anyways in the chat.
I think they said 454. They were pretty close. We were discussing that in our last match with Dimwee there about the reset time and whether it's at the goal or at the goal minus 15 seconds. And
yeah.
I basically I said as a player, I mean there might be an official rule, but I've always went with the rule that as long as both teams are in agreement of what time we're starting at, that's what time we start at. My general rule is always at the time of the goal, but I've seen it go either way.
Yeah, so I fed said information to the players. They can do as they please with it. But nonetheless, we'll be, Andy with a much more relevant topic to the stream. Thank you. Handing me an assist there. Palidore, what's your predictions for the last chance qualifier? Well, all of that buildup, and I don't actually have a solid answer for you. The thing is, there are so many teams in that gold and silver division. If they have a hot night, it's so hard to say. If I just had to pick a couple standouts personally that I would be eyeballing, just kind of on a general basis, assuming they don't make it squeeze into those top slots. You know, I definitely look out for Instinct. I would say Legends be a sleeper. Wireless Jacks as well, if they play like some of their matches as of late. You know, that they could be definitely a sleeper team of sorts. I don't know, there's a lot. What about you, Dano? Any particulars?
I don't really have predictions myself. Like you had said, if a team has a hot night, like sometimes you have that really good night and you beat teams that you might not normally beat. So that's the beauty of a last chance qualifier. The teams that join just fight their hardest, and it will pay off for someone. I honestly have no idea who, though.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. If I were to make just my kind of own guess, I'm saying Instinct has a good chance at it. I mean, every time they faced some of these elite teams in the league, the master tier teams, although they've fallen short on the wins, they've come so very close. So I think if they're going to be there just among the other gold teams, silver teams, I think they'll be kind of in their comfort zone and maybe be able to come back as Enders come back here with a shot off that timeout. It's 8-2 for Space Force.
Beautiful cut shot with the assist from Arrow Knight, getting them another 2 points, increasing their lead by 6 points.
And on that note, too, off of that topic and getting back into the game, what about you, Andy? Any particular teams you're thinking could be kind of dark horses to upset some teams? I'm curious, from caster to caster.
Maybe Chaos will come in there and upset everyone.
I would be so game.
Hey, we'll try.
I mean, we'd be guaranteed some round threes. I would welcome Kang versus Chaos round 3 as a shot goes out and just barely misses.
Oh, that was such a nice looking shot, but that's okay. Arrow Knight's going to take it now for his team, passing it right over to Pyro. Very quick succession passes, which is keeping the defense on their toes. Going for that pass there, and luckily his teammates boosted right in the right space. Arrow Knight looking for that pass over to Ender Slot. Get some pressure from Swagger, passing it right over to Arrow Knight, going for another 2 points, putting them to 10-2, assisted by Ender.
And Space Force continuing here in the first round, putting down the points and trying to snuff out the flame of Invictus. But still 3 minutes left and some time on the clock indeed for them. Andy in the chat saying he's looking at spaghetti or milk. You know, I would have said milk if it weren't for the fact that I would have had to say milk.
Creamy milk.
Oh. That's a
you
topic for Andy right there based on anyway. So back to the midfield, actually bouncing right back to the hands of Ender's Slot. And yeah, they're good teams as well. Like I said, it's really, if I'm not mentioning a team, it's not because I don't believe in them. It's just, it's so hard to call.
Oh, absolutely. It was like picking for this game, too. I believe in both of these teams. They both have great potential. And so far, Space Force is snuffing out my prediction. And that was an amazing save, I believe, by Pyro, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, coming in there was just a nice grab on the diving offensive player. And going for that clear now, trying to get the boost together. Overshoot by Invictus will result in the absolute by Arrow Knight.
Fantastic open goal shot, putting Space Force in a very comfortable 11-point lead, double-digit lead. 2 minutes left. Invictus doesn't have much time left. If they're going to make something happen, they need to make it happen now.
Yeah, winding down, of course, they'll still have at least a second round, but you always want to end, especially in these rounds, you know, if you know that maybe it's going to be a loss either way, you want to end it strong because that stuff can definitely carry over into the next rounds.
Absolutely. I've seen momentum carry over time and time again. I think more often than not, when a team brings momentum at the end of round 1, they almost always carry it into the beginning of round 2.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be over here, Anime for Life, taking it back. I see once again in the chat now talking about Rox and Andy talking about Shepard being added to Milk's roster, which is definitely a factor. I mean, he is super talented player himself. Great goalie, just all-around player, can do a little bit of it all, but I think that will definitely be an X factor added into Milk's team here late season.
Yes, Shepard definitely is a very good player. I have played with him many times. Lots to learn from him, and lots that I have learned. Ooh, and a quick pass there, but they're going to pass it back.
Oh,
getting that
what
3
happened?
point. That was, I don't know if that was a mail shot, this angle I was at. It looked like it might have been a mail shot slot.
Yeah,
slot shot.
Yeah, Woodchuck would, but that was great from King Crispy. I don't know how they squeezed it through, but they did. So, hey, it's momentum nonetheless. Not a first-round win, but they've got some points.
Absolutely. It was very entertaining. Great as a spectator. Oh, They might get the disc back here, as they will. Oh, but stolen right back by Enderslot, but stolen right again from Princess, who's going for that lower bounce shot.
Oh,
Ooh, just
wow.
a little short.
Oh, yeah, barely missing. So 10 seconds left, and that one especially would have been a nice momentum builder. Might still have time after all. There's a disc being handed off. One more to Cyanide. He has the walk-in goal for one more and gets it through. So there's the momentum. Maybe a first-round loss, but they'll still be feeling mighty good, considering it looked like Space Force was maybe going to start pulling away big time there.
It did. It absolutely looked like they thought they had the disc, but then Invictus got that turnover and got those extra 2 points, building that momentum. Very excited to see what round 2 brings.
Same here. That was a fun end to the round, and definitely a bright note for Invictus. So they're going to go back to it, and we're going to go to the highlight screen here in a second as a... Oh, lovely. The teams also remembered to rematch because they need to reset the clock. That's what I always forget every time. But the team's at least starting to remember, so that's okay. I did get the stats actually saved, however, so... okay, I guess we're going right into it then. So, don't mind the round 1 badge. That is most inaccurate. Yeah. I blame Andy. He just got me started off the entire wrong way. Love you, Andy. Okay, so it is round 2. We'll just hit the highlights later because they're right back into it with 10 minutes on the clock. Here we go.
Ooh, and it will go for Space Force possession. Going for that shot, but is taken over by Cyanide, who is going to pass it, but gets intercepted by Arrow Knight, playing that strong defense. Looking for that pass, but is going to miss his teammate.
And Princess just not being missed on the stuns coming out from Space Force. They link up together to get the disc right back. A very strong pass up from Pyro Polar Bear. I think that's, right now, Space Force, some of these passes, just to start off this round, a little bit hard to catch. That one, though, very precise, and that's, if you're going to throw it that quick, it needs to be accurate, and boy, was it. So Enders, the first couple points off a good assist from Arrow.
Absolutely, the assist, the pass, there was 6 or 7 passes before that goal, and every single pass was on point, it was fast, and it ultimately led to them getting that 2-point lead.
And so starting off the right way here for Space Force. And meanwhile for Invictus, seeing if they can get started where they left off in that last round, which is to say off of a couple of scores here. They're going to at least get it to the mid-line and try and be patient with it. But you can see that defense being very aggressive on Space Force, for Space Force.
Absolutely. I can already see an improvement in Invictus. Their passing is already much more on point this round. They're definitely warmed up now. I think they're going to put up a very good fight here.
Trying to, and there it is indeed, putting up a fight and taking that right out of the air. Trying to go for the stack now, but unable to get it back. So now, unfortunately, off balance, maybe a 3-on-2, but again, another grab from Swagger this time.
I told you, they're ready to put up a fight 2 times in a row. Those stellar saves, clearing it down. But it is going to be picked up by Space Force, by Enderslot, who's going to pass it down to Arrow Knight, looking for his teammates. A little bit of pressure now. Ooh, it's stolen right over by Princess, going on that open 3, and she gets the 3 points from 29 meters away. 3 points for Invictus, putting them in the lead by 1 point.
What a defensive stand that was from Invictus. At first, off that joust, kind of struggling to work it up the floor. They were going, making some nice passes, but again, the aggressive defense from Space Force playing dividends. Then what was it? It was a save, then it was another save, and then it was a steal, and then a shot. So a lot of defense to get those points. They really earned that one.
Absolutely. Like, it's proof to my words. They are fired up. They are ready to go. You can see their defense here as well. Stun, stealing the disc. Now Cyanide has the disc for Invictus. Walking up the field as long as he can uncontested. Going for that long shot 3, but it's going to be a little high.
Yeah, and Arrow Knight receiving that one. You mentioned it, a lot of just intensity being shown here from Invictus. There it is again, trying to bother with the brawls. Arrow Knight going to have a time to get it to Anime for life, and Anime taking a breather for at least a few seconds. Happy to not have the defense right on his feet, unlike his partner on the other side, because defense was at his feet there to maybe cause some trouble and potentially a turnover, but no, because Pyro gets it right back.
Yeah, Invictus is all over every single pass. Space Force isn't able to get their rollouts going, and inevitably it's getting a clear downfield. It's going to be a race for the disc, and it looks like it's going to be Space Force that does get the disc, passing it back to Arrow Knight, up to Enderslot, who's now going to be looking for his passes.
And Pyro Polar Bear, just a light boost off the feet of Enders, just trying to get a little bit of space, create that space, which is exactly what you want to do to find the passing lanes. But cutting off said passing lane, it's Swagger, some more defense yet shown from Invictus as the offense maybe getting set if they can get the stacks going.
Seeing Swagger in the middle of a lot of defensive action this round. He is defensive, he's offensive. There he is right up there now with Princess. Trying that two-man game going to the goal.
Oh.
Now adding that third man in there. Lots of pass options. Going down below the goal. Can she get the 2 points? Oh, she's going to go for the pass. Cut shot in the goal for a 2 points. Putting Invictus in the lead by 3 points. 5-2 for Invictus.
That was fantastic passing there from Invictus. Definitely worthy of a highlight that extends well beyond this 10-second clip here, because just the execution once they crossed that mid-line, it was flawless, and there was some defense bothering, so it was not an easy task for Invictus. Nice job.
No, not easy at all, but very well earned. And Space Force now in the hands of Enders, but it's getting stolen away from Princess. Invictus with that strong defense this round. If they keep this up, they have a solid chance at taking round 2. Going for that 3 shot, but just bouncing off the barrier, but it will be collected by Princess again, giving Invictus another shot to strengthen their lead.
Oh, and just threading the needle through the bow tie right now, trying to gift wrap a assist to Princess. Cyanide delivering it right back off a couple very nice cross passes and efficient play at work. Invictus ahead by 5 here with 5 minutes left in round 2.
Invictus carried over that momentum, and other than that first shot from Space Force, they have just been building that momentum and building it and building it.
Lands that in the chat there. One of the roster members there for Space Force asking where the save's at. I'm not sure. Right now it just seems like a momentum shift. Of course, that can always flip on a dime as Anime delivers a nice dime to Pyro, who spins and with a flourish gets a couple more points after a little bit of a drought.
I see those fancy spin shots and I get jealous because I haven't learned how to do them yet. I lose position of where I am and just miss the goal every time.
Yeah. It's,
so kudos to that.
I can feel that. It's kind of like that for me, not so much with spin shots, but with anything that involves jumping and things like that, or reaching up high, because I still have a little bit of, I guess, hesitation you can call it, with those ceilings being so low as that shot does go for Princess. Another nice one. That one taken right kind of in the center of mass, but unable to save it, and will be a 5-point lead right back.
Absolutely. It was a fast shot, 18 meters per second. Very hard to stop.
Yeah.
Joust advantage for Space Force now. Only behind by 5 points with 3 minutes and 44 seconds left. Plenty of time for some solid rollouts here to tie the game up. But it is going to be taken by Swagger Nuts at the midline. Going for the back pass to free up some time for Invictus to spread out.
And on the bottom of the floor, taken right back by Swagger over at the wedge. Now the defense retreating there, getting some boost at least to get back into the front line. But gonna be off balance, but nice. Knocking loose there. Anders slot with a punch. So another pass here. Scramble unfolding once more. 3 minutes left, a little bit over in the second round. So we might be eyeing around 3 if Space Force can't get back on the scoreboard again soon.
That was some really good defense from Space Force there. Lots of good stuns, intercepts. If they can keep that up, they might be able to get a few points and take round 2. They do have control of it now. Anime clearing it down the tunnel. Currently going to be a race for the disc. No one boosting now. There's some slow boost coming from Invictus, but it is going to be taken by Space Force, and so close as he's stunned out.
Oh, still might go, though. Just missing the hands of Enders, though. So back to Invictus. That was an opportunity. They'll get themselves another one with a steal, but that's just going to slowly float off thanks to the stuns again from Invictus. I think, if nothing else, Dano, these punches are buying themselves so many opportunities for Invictus.
Absolutely, so many opportunities. Every time it gets to one end of the field, both teams' defense is really strong. When they get to the bubbles, there's a lot of very good fights. Oh, and that was a close 3-point shot.
Oh, but that's a close grab there, overshooting. So that's kind of unfortunate, but you can see how long it took those stacks on both sides to actually get back to the front line, and it's because they were so busy just punching the lights out of each other by that left side wedge.
Absolutely. They might need to rebrand this round something to do more with combat of some sort. They just punch and punch, but it's okay. It's providing a very entertaining match. Lots of steals, just like that one from Princess on an open goal. Can she get that 3 points? She will from 9 meters away. Just a soft throw into the goal.
Yeah, very entertaining match. I think someone there from Space Force trying to explain I lost the disc because this happened, and you know, just kind of some lighthearted humor there. As we do wind down this second round, looking like Invictus back with some strength and trying to just close it off in the last 90 seconds.
Absolutely. And with a pass here to Anime, another quick pass up to Ender slot. Space Force can get some more points on the board here. Passing over to Pyro, who goes with a shot, but it is saved by King Crispy, who passes it down to Arrow Knight.
Oh no, again!
Another intercept.
Now this is how you know that one team is in a great rhythm when everything seems to go their way.
Oh.
It's Swagger Nuts going nuts and punching each other in the head. The two teammates in the midline, excited as I am over a huge series of plays from Swagger, the defense, the offense, and the ridiculousness.
That was just a laser shot from 37 meters. I didn't even see him wind up for it. All of a sudden, just shoom, it was gone and in the goal. Beautiful display.
What an almighty comeback here in the second round for Invictus after losing the first. Ender's going for one more, but no, it will be denied. Every single one of these drives into goal, it's resulting in a stun and a steal for Invictus.
Invictus is here to stay. They are here to win. Oh, and another steal from Invictus.
And perhaps still a chance at one more goal.
I mean, they definitely already have this round, but they still have time to get another couple points on the board. Down to Cyanide, but it is going to be stolen by Arrow Knight, who's going to clear it down to the right tunnel, ending round 2. And the win... Oh, almost might have had a play there. The win for round 2, not round 1, will go to Invictus.
Yeah, don't mind the big gigantic letters that say round 1 over. Pay attention to the very small numbers up top that says round 2 on the overlay.
People in game. I can't find you.
But 15-4 indeed, and what an answer from Invictus. I mean, it wasn't just a win, it was just a complete reversal compared to what we saw in that last round between these two teams, kind of switching shoes just about.
Oh, absolutely. They came in with an iron fist. Like I said, they were warmed up round 2. They put up that fight, bringing us that coveted round 3 that we all love so much. Both teams are warmed up, raring to go now. Should be a very, very exciting match 3, or round 3, sorry.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that very much so, as we do get a little bit of a read on the stats. Again, these are just kind of partial ones due to the restarts, but that's okay. I mean, Princess AG, again, this is one round's worth of stats. And every single category filled up. Look at that. 10 points, 1 assist, 2 save, 1 steal, 18 stuns. Now that in itself was at least an MVP-worthy second round. And Cyanide contributing a pair of assists with 21 stuns. King Crispy with 2 saves. Swagger with 5 points. That huge shot at the end and those steals and saves also. For Space Force, there's a couple points apiece for Enders and Pyro. Anime with 1 assist, 1 save. And Arrow Knight with 1 assist, 11 stuns. And it's round 3 just begun. Here we go.
Very nice job on those stats. And it's going to go to Space Force with the joust, but will go into the hands of Princess for Invictus, who's passing it down to Cyanide, looking for this early start to the round. Passing the teammates, but just aren't quite there. Going into the hands of Arrow Knight, but it's taken right back from Invictus. Invictus bringing that heat from the last round all the way forward to round 3. Chance for a goal here, but they are going to miss the shot.
Might actually just ricochet back the way of Princess. Oh, but just missing, kind of had a tap off the Geo, but mishandling it. Couldn't really get the first launch, and that might have cost the potential recovery. But still on the recovery, it will be the speedy stack. Princess getting back and has Cyanide right behind, as well as Swagger by the side.
Oh, and there's Space Force putting on a show with that good defense there. Taking the disc back, going for the back pass so they can slow it down, looking for their options as Space Force spreads out, going for that pass to the bunker and right into the goal for 2 points. Space Force taking the beginning of round 3 with a 2-point lead.
And there we go. Maybe that's what Space Force needed. Granted, that's how they started off round 2, right? They came back with that first score. So that's kind of the common theme, I suppose. The question is, though, after that second round, Invictus really did answer the call after being handed that first round loss. The question is, what adjustments will Space Force make? Again, when they are on, they are a fantastic team. We've seen them light it up in recent weeks, both offensively and defensively. You know, can't deny the amount of saves I've been seeing. Guys like right here, Anime for life. He's been kind of insane in the goal as of late.
And can we talk about these passes? Okay, except for that one. Every single pass down the field was precise and on point and fast. Space Force is definitely putting on a good show of teamwork here,
go.
and another 2 points dunked in by Enderslot, assisted by Arrow Knight, putting Space Force in the lead 4-0.
And yeah, the defense losing sight of Enders up top. You can see that entire play. It was, had the camera right beside Enders, and he was just camped up there, waving his hands a little bit, calling for the disc. I mean, you can see the play unfolding the entire way, and it's a very wise one to do because if you get that pass reception that deep and from behind the backboard, it's a lot easier to score and take goalies off guard.
Space Force is definitely, they did something, a mental shift or a teamwork shift. I don't know what they did, but there's another 3 points on the board for Space Force. A backboard shot by Enderslot, putting them 7-0.
Big shot, Enderslot. 7 points indeed, and that's, I guess we have our answer, don't we, Dano? Because I just asked only a couple of minutes ago. You know, how are they going to answer? Will they answer the same way that Invictus did and make those adjustments? It looks like they have.
It absolutely looks like they had. They just had someone right at that QB right there in a split second. Space Force is not messing around this round, and they just caught that clear, ready to go at another attempt. Spacing out, taking their time, knowing that they have the lead, using the clock to their advantage. Oh, but it's going to be intercepted by Princess.
Yeah, Princess, very, very hot second round there. Just, again, every single category, definitely a big contributor to the second round win. But at the moment, Space Force in full force, coming back and causing all kinds of trouble in this pile-up. But just the same, Princess AG, the only problem is throwing these clears into the hands of a waiting defense a couple times as the pile-ups form. And as I do often mention in the cast, the one detriment to those big pile-ups is it really does not give you valid passing lanes because everyone's just in the same spot.
No, definitely not. In a hurricane of punches like that, sometimes you just see a gap and you're like, get the disc out of here. But unfortunately, that isn't always the best plan of attack. Like you said, it ends up going into the hands of the wrong person usually.
Yeah, and especially one thing to recommend too, because pileups are inevitable as the steal goes out from Cyanide. Pileups do happen, I mean, no matter what, to every team at times. But the thing too is if you do rush those clears, make sure to, if nothing else, sling it into the sidewalls and things like that. Give your maybe your back stack or backline players a chance to get it. But if you throw it just directly down middle, there's oftentimes going to be a defender around goal to recover it immediately.
Oh, absolutely. Very good advice on that. Like I said, the side wall or the top wall, that gives your back stack a chance to see where it's going, ready themselves, and then they can boost and get that intercept. And now we got a pass going up to Swagger Nuts, going in for the shot, getting 2 points for Invictus, finally putting Invictus on the board, reducing Space Force's goal down to only 5. With 5 minutes and 26 seconds remaining, we still have half a match for Invictus to make another comeback.
And that was the exact precision passing they needed. Some a very long crosses, kind of zippering it down the floor and finding themselves a goal before the defense could really address it or get back quick enough to really make it anything more than just that head-on goal. But, oh, a nice punch from Swagger. So we've seen this in round 2. If he can make that shot, it will be huge, but unable to do so. Maybe a self-rebound, but going to be contested again, and squeezes it through all of the troublesome defense somehow, and now it's a 3-point match.
Beautiful self-pass by Swagger there, bringing that lead down to 3 points. Very quickly, I was only 14 seconds in. If Invictus can keep this momentum up, they have a great shot at taking round 3 and the series.
Gotta love this. It is just tight competition at the moment tonight. Where you think one team, in the first round, you thought, oh, Space Force, it looked like they're about to blow this lead wide open and maybe a blowout. And then in the second round, Invictus doing a little bit of the same, starting to pile it on. And then in this third round, as that shot just misses and the rebound also off and sent through, you thought, okay, maybe Space Force looking like they have a 7-0 lead. They're going to start pulling away. But then another run by Invictus. So it is just really a game of runs here.
It's a beautiful back and forth. I'm very excited to see what happens with my caster's guess. I hope Invictus makes me proud. That second round definitely got my hopes up, so I'm really excited to see what they do here. But very, very proud of both teams right now, putting on amazing displays, providing some amazing entertainment right now.
I'm not sure how the double, triple jinx works, but nonetheless, going for a shot on the feet. Nice placement there, and Enderslot pulls it back up to a 5-point advantage.
5-point advantage, 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. Still a lot of time left for only a 5-point spread. I'm very curious to see what Invictus does here. We know we know that they have what it takes. What are they going to do with this rollout?
I'll see. Just evading the stack there, the stack defense and getting it through to midline. But maybe a slight miscommunication. Cyanide will still come away with it, but does need to get rid rather quickly and finds the correct pass, if not for the Geo in the way, but otherwise it would have been on target, at least in the right area. And again, look at this defense from Space Force. Really nice at the moment. The passing pretty nice from Invictus too, but still eventually winding up in this turnover.
Absolutely, that strong defense from Space Force inevitably got them the disc. Looking for that pass down now to Anime, who's clearing it down the field, hoping his team is stacked. At this point, it's going to be a race for the disc. And it's going to be King Crispy getting the disc, passing it on down to Princess in the tunnel, who's looking for her options. Going to clear that disc downfield because she sees her teammates boosting, but it is going to bounce down into that lower pocket, and it will be picked up by Cyanide.
And so with some time to work with, that long distance pass soft enough to at least get off the wall, and somehow Princess avoiding the defense. I thought that was a almost guaranteed turnover about to happen. Looked like the stack was just right on the heels. But now defense may be on their heels. If they get this cross pass off, the defense a little off balance, trying to go for the goal, but will just be met with a punch halfway through the drive.
Space Force really playing on the defense, just punching everything that comes into their bubble. They're trying to avoid everything. 3-pointers, 2-pointers. They don't even want Invictus in their bubble.
Not at all. And going for a clear, so less than 2 minutes remaining. It's still not panic mode necessarily for Invictus. They don't have to start getting too crazy with it. It just needs some fundamental passing plays here. Get themselves some easy goals right there, denying one at least off the pole. Princess needs to get rid of that one as well. The defense from Ender's Slot kind of taking Princess off guard.
Yeah, Space Force doing a very aggressive offense here. Getting some stuns in there, keeping the disc out of the hands of Invictus. They're looking to strengthen their lead with that cut pass, and
nice.
Arrow Knight stunned out, denying that increased lead.
That was such a smart dive there coming in from Invictus's defense. Not sure who it was exactly, but recognizing just in time that, hey, this pass is a bit strong or a bit soft, so we're going to dive out and cut it off. That said, that pass will be right on line at the perfect speed to meet Arrow Knight's hands, and it is 11-4, and now that just might be the ice.
What looks like very good communication from Space Force ended up increasing their lead to 8 points. Only a minute left. It's very tight. We shall see what happens.
Yeah, I said about 45 seconds ago or so, maybe a minute ago, not in panic mode yet, but at this point it kind of is there. They really
point, panic.
They need some rushed plays and some miracles working, and it looks like it's just not going to happen, unfortunately, for Invictus. So for Space Force, as they look to just maintain control for a few more seconds, waste all the clock they have, maybe even score again, they will indeed be coming ahead here in this 3-round thriller. Really wasn't until that last minute 30 seconds, that this series was actually more or less guaranteed in the favor of one or the other.
Oh, absolutely. The point spread we have now was not there the whole game. Full of action, lots of great plays. Unfortunately, my prediction was wrong, but nonetheless, still a very good showing from Invictus tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. And the GG's coming through there at the end. Always love to hear it. And with that said, it is not the round 2 end, it's the round 3 end. Small number up top, small number, remember that. But 11-4 here in the third.
Beautiful game. Excited to see the stats there. Although they're not going to be full stats, we will see the last, well, at least this full round at the very least, plus the last one.
Yeah. So we do got those stats for you, and as you can see, talking about those margins, it was just a game of runs, pure, plain, and simple. 13-7 in the first, but it really wasn't until some late goals in that last minute by Princess and Swagger, I believe it wasn't, where they had the 2 points, and then suddenly a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer brought it back up to 7, made it look a lot closer for that late game run. And then Invictus was able to really bring it back there, take that momentum, carry it over into the second round, as we said is often the case if you finish strong in the first, win or loss. Carries over, and it did. 15-4 in the second, and that was a big round for Invictus. But then it was Space Force answering Invictus's run with some runs of their own on that rebuttal, and they finished out here 11-4 after a couple back and forths in this third round.
Very entertaining. I don't know if either of these teams have more matches for the rest of this week, but I am very excited to see what both teams, how they progress and continue to grow.
Yeah, for sure. So it was a strong game from many players, and again, these are just kind of partial stats, but still, just, yeah. All around, I'm very impressed. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the first round too, when Space Force does get those passes going, and they're rolling, they are a very good team. We saw it here today because everyone on Space Force, even just in those 2 rounds, they all had an assist. You know, they Anime had a few of them there. 3 of their 4 players getting on the score sheet. I mean, it was really a little bit of everything. Like, look, everyone on that team has a save as well. It's just across the board. A very cohesive team effort from Space Force, which you love to see here in the final week. You know, just putting together that chemistry over the course of Season 1.
Oh, absolutely. And if they continue to play together and strengthen that chemistry, like you said, they've already got points in every category. I've always said when you see a team that every player has points in every category, that is a true cohesive team that if they continue to practice and fight hard and grow all the numbers that they're getting in every single category, then that could be a dominating team. So really good to see that point spread around. Like you said, it's not even the full game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, over on Invictus's side, the scoring mainly handled there by Princess and Swagger. They absolutely popped off, especially in that second round between the 2 of them. There were so many stuns, steals, and saves that directly translated into some scores going their way to ultimately balloon that lead up to 15-4 to finish that off. But you know, with the likes of Cyanide, you know, no points, but I mean, he had multiple assists and saves, steals, so he was still doing defensive work there. Same with King Crispy with some saves and stuns. So kind of a 50-50 split of, you know, kind of offense and defense between Invictus's side, but don't blame them either. Not necessarily a bad thing in this case, because there is no denying that Princess and Swagger had extremely hot hands for a while there, and sometimes you just got to ride the wave, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And with their performances, it just goes to show, I mean, in round 2, Invictus took the round 15-4. So both these teams are very equally skilled. This game could have gone either way. Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, Invictus didn't get the win this time, but they shouldn't let it get them down. I mean, they put on an amazing performance.
Yeah, absolutely the case. So with that said, we do have another match scheduled to start in about 15 minutes. Also, I'm checking real quickly here over on channel 2 of VRML, as there is Ignite playing Nitro at the moment. If you guys want to check that out, it's actually the final 2 minutes of round 3, but it looks like Ignite potentially pulling away 11-5 at the moment. So this is a 3-round series over on VRML channel 2 that is about to end there.
Very nice. We have 2 games going to 3 rounds. It's a good night. Good night.
Yeah, absolutely. So on that note, since it is, again, minute and a half left or so, probably unless people want me to raid or something, but why? You can't spend your channel points on anything, as people keep telling me all week. So anyway, I'll get to it, I promise.
Mine just keep growing. I don't know what to do with them either.
Yeah. yeah, I know. I know. I'll fix it. But anyway, over to the schedule again real quick. So Ignite finishing off their game at the moment versus Nitro. And then immediately following that, actually, so at, again, 15 minutes or 14 minutes from now, Ignite will be coming onto this channel here, Channel 1, in their match against Team Tint. There is no team, and there is no way that I want to miss that one. So we'll get back to that one right around the corner. Now, until then, I do suppose, trying to kind of debate whether I want to end the stream here or just keep it going for the next 13. I suppose might as well. So I'll leave you guys here on this highlight screen for a little bit. You can watch that and we'll get resettled and back to you in another 13 minutes or so with Ignite's next match versus Tint. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the match. Our final one here on VRML Channel 1. We've got a pair of them as well over on VRML Channel 2, so you can choose between them. But right here we got ourselves Ignite and Tint. There is no team. Other channel, it's Wireless Jacks versus Deception. If you're joining us on this channel, thank you for doing so. I'm Palidore, being joined right now by SputnikKobra, now switching up the casters a bit. Dano, McFabulous joining, I believe, Sir Dimwee. So, yeah, how's it going, Sput?
It's going well. Looking forward to this last matchup of tonight between Ignite and There Is No Team. And with the neutral joust underway, it will sail towards that back line of Ignite, be picked up by Duel and sent through mid into the hands of VTS King, looking to start this offensive push towards that bubble.
And so for Ignite, you just followed them in their last match. Apparently that one went really interestingly. It was a fun one, 3-round thriller going in favor of Ignite. And as far as Tint, we saw them last night in what was yet another one of those reverse sweeps against Mirage. Mirage had won the first round by just a point. And then Tint came back, as they have done 4 or 5 times, as a save goes from Rad David, and off to the tunnel it goes. But we've seen this from Tint. We've seen those saves from Dave, and they're going to make these plays once more.
Absolutely. A lot of great saves tonight from all of these teams. Citrus notably being one of the better goalies I've seen tonight. VTS King coming in behind her with some terrific saves as well. And David with that great save just a minute ago, but not able to get this disc out of their bubble. They'll find the clear through that tunnel. Gygasm giving his team some time to breathe.
Just a little bit, though, as they do back it out to the goal. And VTS going for that clear, just immediately followed by some boosts. The double back stacks for both of these teams trying to get collected, so it's just going to be relied on the front line for Ignite there, trying to contest, but over to the side wall goes back to Dave.
And as all the cheers in chat come out for Team Tint, There Is No Team has a lot of fans in chat, and they're looking for their team to come out with the win. So David N with possession, getting that juke on the defender in the tunnel, advancing forward, trying to find that shot, and it will be too far wide. It will go back into the hands of Fair Enough, who sends it back so they can restart this offensive push.
And just slapping it off to the side, knowing Dave was in the general area. He's going to kind of slap it as well, so a bit of a scramble here, just kind of going for those slap passes and not really finding the accuracy they wanted quite yet. So instead, VTS lines up the shot. Will it go through? No, bouncing, maybe still into the goal for 3. Oh, boy.
And as all the players let out screams of joy and dismay, There Is No Team is not able to find that save off the shield as it bounces off the crossbar, off the shield and back into the goal. So Joust advantage to Team Tint. Rad David N will take possession under pressure, trying to find that pass, finding it to Huzzah. Huzzah immediately under pressure, able to avoid that Ignite defense and find that lateral pass to Fair Enough.
And over back to the wall again, slightly disarrayed on the passes once more, though. So giving up another possession maybe to Ignite if they get back here. Although Dave is in the area, another slap will just, well, actually go right back into his lap, it seems like. So getting the disc and now going for that cutting play. And with a beautiful delivery, Huzzah puts it away. It's a 1-point game now off that score.
Finding that chance in the bubble with a beautiful pass to Zoff, that slap in. Joust advantage back to Ignite. 6 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. Looking to take this possession and convert it into points.
Yeah, and quick hello to the chat as well. I see actually White Dragon in there, one of the roster members, as well as a Ready at Dawn developer, hopping in the chat, cheering on Tint, as well as Cobra. We have Fars from Ignite. You mentioned, the fans from Tint, for Tint, Sputnik, but we've got some fans for Ignite. We've got some friends for Ignite over here in the game. So let's see if they can go on the offense one more time with this passing play, but getting stunned out by Dave.
But not able to get that clear. Will still be in the hands of this Ignite team, able to pick it right back up, getting that pass in front of goal and getting that shot. I don't know if that stun on the goalie made a difference there, but VTS X King able to shoot that rocket into the lower pocket.
Yeah, he popped, locked, and dropped it. I don't know. But over there we see Hello Snow says let's go Tint, as well as Danimal, a.k.a. Shepard, can't ever forget him. And then Cobra Strike striking the Twitch chat just the same as Ignite just did right there. And it will be Rad Dave with a disc rolling out to Fair Enough and then to the mid lane. But another one of those kind of misgives. Really not getting Tint the opportunities they need. A little bit of a slow start when it comes to this passing execution. And as a result, oh, it's Wolf, the 3.
There is no team, just taking too much time in the backfield, not able to find any passes or any clears. Wolf 23 will find that stun and that subsequent 3-pointer at 13 meters.
And yeah, Ignite maybe starting to turn up the heater, it seems like, as Rad Dave once again rolls out a quick pass, this time reaching the hands off the bounce, but Wolf again for Ignite. So the defense, maybe again they'll turn it into offense here, especially with all these boosts. Look at this, Sputnik, the quickness.
And they're able to just out-boost. There is no team, and once again find another 3. Will be Wolf 23 from a very difficult angle at 9 meters.
Fars losing his mind there. Ignite heating up, and so is Fars. First the 100 bits, then the 1,000 bits. You added an extra 0. Was that on purpose? I hope so. If not, no refunds. But thank you, Fars, for stopping by, as well as Lanzan with the poggers in the chat, and Dursey saying hello, chat, and hello to you as well.
So this is looks to find some pass, something to get his team started in this bubble. Find a pass to Fair Enough. Fair Enough looking ahead, trying to avoid this defender, avoiding him, but sending that pass right into the hands of an Ignite defender, who will find that clear through the tunnel.
And you know what else? Maybe another goal. They are just absolutely piling on right now for Ignite. 13-2. And it's just, what do you think that Tint needs to do? I mean, I know the passing not quite there, but it just seems like Ignite's defense really swarming them. And they're getting back first.
They need to find their passes in the backfield. They need to find the stuns on the Ignite stack. They need to get into advantageous positioning, but they just can't get any type of leverage on this Ignite defense.
Yeah, there it goes again. So they do get it to the other side of the floor, but Ignite's really feeling bold and brazen at the moment, feeling confident in the fact that they can play up in that mid lane with the aggression, because you know what? So far, it is buying them quite a lot of opportunities.
And Far is going crazy in chat with all these bits. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for all the bits. Hopefully you see your team lead it to another win this night, and they'll find another shot. And Wolf 23 at 23 meters, his namesake, pulling ahead, running this train on There Is No Team. Ignite is scorching the opposition in the first round.
And yet more bits from Far. Wolf, you better stop it. You're going to leave Far's Twitch wallet a bit empty by the end of this match if you keep up this pace, because it's 16 points. And this is just a strong effort. Let me see this too. It's Wolf, 11 of them so far.
And another shot attempt, and they'll pick it right back up, and they'll find the goal. Franz this time at 7 meters. It won't be a 3, it'll be a 2, but it's 18-2, a 16-point lead, 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock.
I gotta say, we know Ignite's capable of this, but I did not expect the first round differential to be this substantial, admittedly, because when it comes to the players here on Tint, they are skilled. They seriously have impressed as well, both offense, defense. It's just a admittedly slow start for them, much more so than usual, in fact, as they're just trying to get it going with some of these passes, and as they finally work into the bubble. So there it is, and that's about the one of the only easy goals, so to speak, that they've gotten all round long.
And it wasn't even that easy. It was a multitude of good passing and good positioning, able to finally find Rad David drifting in front of the goal for that screen pass. And Joust advantage to Ignite is still up by 14 points, a minute, 20 seconds on the clock. This first round will, of course, go into their hands. There's just not enough time for There Is No Team to do anything.
Yeah, there is no time, maybe, but I guess given recent history for Tint, hold that thought too, though, as Ignite does go for a shot, but saved out, but put right back in by Duel, looks like. So Dave almost getting the handles, but Duel will just undo any of the good defense there with his own grabs.
So 20-4 as this last minute winds down. First round will go to Ignite. Joust advantage 2. There Is No Team looking to just run down this time and get themselves collected for the second round so they can respond and make a difference.
But that's just going to mean another turnover. This is going to make a difference in maybe approaching that mercy situation potentially, but now with 30 seconds left in the collection by Huzzah, maybe denying it at the very least. So Tint has themselves the disc and an opportunity to maybe score one more time. I mentioned this at the end of the Invictus. Oh boy, now that was Invictus and for the goal. Okay, so as I was trying to say, I mentioned towards the end of the last game on stream, if you end the round, even in a loss, you end it with some strength, you can absolutely carry that momentum to the next round. Now, was that shot intentional? Maybe, maybe not. But a shot it was, and we'll see if that is the injection they need to get going here for Tint in round 2.
Those celebrations and screams after that shot found its way into the goal. Those were intentional, though.
Oh, yeah, those ones... Tint is one of the teams I love having open comms with. They always provide something fun for the stream pretty much every match.
And they definitely having a fun time, these players. And these other players from There Is No Team, which is comprised of Rad David, and who is a developer for the game. They have a lot of rapport. They've been playing for a long time. And it's so nice to finally face the developers in the competitive realm.
Yeah. Glad to see them here. And look, Sputnik, would you be surprised if I told you Tint has Ignite exactly where they want them? Because, as White Dragon points out in the chat, we've been here before, and that's exactly right. 4 times, 5 times now. I'm beginning to lose count in the last few weeks of play alone. Tint loses the first round, and then they just come back with some ferocity. And on 3 or 4 of these losses in the first round, they have been by fairly large margins, by double digits, and yet they keep coming back and forcing these third rounds. So even though it's funny to say, this is almost Tint's natural habitat at this point. So I'm very interested in seeing if we're going to see a repetition of history or not as this joust does go out.
Well, I look forward to an upset. I look forward to anything from Tint. From this team, There Is No Team, so with possession will be Huzzah going for that clear, but this Ignite boost is there to chase it down and miss both players, and the stun from the block will allow that slap out, but Rad David then will be there to pick it up. Oof. And it'll go into the hands of Franz. We'll try and find that clear, and it will go through mid.
And see, I really like what Franz did there. He's going to go for that shot as well. So end-to-end, defends, offends. It's 3 points to end that first neutral joust, 30 seconds in. But for Ignites, I want to point out what Franz did there. Something I point out a lot on the streams. Those long cross passes or forward passes, whatever they are. Really important for goalies sometimes to recognize when it's appropriate to leave the goal, just like Franz did there. You saw it was a long pass, thus he had a lot of time to dive out and deny it. So he got the stun, he got the steal, he got the boost, he got the shot. All of the above, the full buffet.
And as Lanson cheers on Ignite, Far cheers on Ignite, Cobra Strike cheers on There Is No Team. The shot will find its way. Duel from NTS Franz at 38 meters, 6-0. Ignite not looking to slow down in this second round.
Well, Fars, they took your energy all right, and they just converted it into 3 points. Again, that is crazy. And also, real quick, addressing lulls in the chat there, it says, bruh, that was the most intense game I've ever played. Double overtime should have been streamed. How come it's always the ones that we don't stream that end up being multiple overtimes? Literally, that's the second time this has happened. But nonetheless, over to the other side it goes. And into the goal, for that matter. There you go, BTS.
Another boost relay from Ignite. It's 9-0. White Dragon says this is where we want to be. We've always been able to come back, but I don't see a comeback right now. There Is No Team has to do something.
Right where we want them, says White Dragon, holding to his word and sticking true to his guns. I mean, that's what you got to do. For Tint, yes, they're down by 9 points, but as they've proven, they are, at least seemingly over the weeks, just untiltable as Dave gets the disc back. So it's really not out of the woods whatsoever. They're still going to have a chance with 7.5 left.
With possession, fair enough, able to avoid all those defenders in the tunnel. Huzzah trying to find that shot, but Wolf will shut down that angle and get possession and find a clear off the wall.
And yeah, looking to that sidewall there. Gotta just appreciate too the headiness on not trying to give away any interceptions, things like that. Going for the sidewall clears, which actually are kind of a double dose of benefits, because when you go for those side walls, not only does it help you avoid the midline defense, is that gonna go in again? I swear, as Fair Enough recollects here. And actually goes in for maybe an attack at the goal, and then slinging it in his guy just from the sky, and it's 9-2.
Guys, I'm able to pick up that stun loss of possession from Fair Enough and get that slap in. Wolf 23 promptly congratulating him with that great shot. Great sportsmanship from these two players.
Just to get back to what I thought and finish it real quick, is when you go for those sidewall clears, not only does it buy your stacks time to get back to it first, it also gives you a chance of actually making the shot, just thanks to, well, simple geometry, as Wolf finds the shot for 11-2. And it seems like just there's no stopping Ignite, and specifically Sputnik, there's no stopping Wolf tonight.
Wolf has been making great plays. I love that word great, and I use it way too much, but truly great plays from Wolf. Wolf taking things into his own hands, finding the shots he needs to, finding the passes he needs to, and really leading his team to victory alongside VTSX King in goal.
I think you mean Wolf's pause. He's on patrol here to score as many goals as he can for his team, as there's the stacks again from Ignite. They're getting to the disc with such quickness. And almost getting the goal.
Not able to find that shot. It will bounce off the crossbar, and they'll slap it back towards Duel at Double Diamonds. And Wolf 23 holding above goal, taking his time, trying to find a pass, opting to send it back. It will bounce off the geometry into the hands of Huzzah, who will go for a clear. And Team Tint needs this boost. They need to get downfield, but they'll get stunned out as a leech from Ignite will take them out.
And neither player from Ignite there really decidedly, making a decision whether they wanted to roll to the disc or stay in the goal. So just allow Tint here to get the disc back and maintain control. I mean, it's only halfway through the second round, so it's not looking great, but it's not out of the hands. In fact, it's in the hands, quite literally, of Huzzah now for this roll on offense once more.
And then incoming Ignite stack, you see they put pressure on that offense. They're not able to make that play. There is no team had that chance right there to make that play. They couldn't make it above goal as they got stunned out and it errantly went. But they're able to get that deflection, and it'll go into the hands of VTSX King, able to read it and get the clear through tunnel.
And first to the boost, I will say credit to Tint at the moment. Ignite was getting first to the disc mighty often there earlier in the round, but at least the last few tries, Tint's been the first one to it off those stacks. So going for the attack on the goalie. Very nice. VTS punched out by a Fair Enough, I believe that was, and enabling Huzzah to score off of Dave's assist.
An Anime for Life asking in chat, why aren't we on ESPN?
Oh, I can answer that. You see, we had big contract negotiations. They weren't giving me what I wanted. It was a really ugly situation, and yeah, just Hollywood's an ugly business, folks.
So we're settling for Comcast Sportsnet. And with possession, we'll go NTS Franz back to tunnel. It'll be missed by that Ignite player. Back into the hands of that backline player of There Is No Team and slapped forward. It will be possession back and forth from these backline players and up to Wolf 23. Goes for a shot. It's going to bounce off the crossbar and back into his hands, a slap. And back in the hands of Wolf 23, a slap from There Is No Team will bounce off the geometry. And this one-on-one against the goalie will find it. NTS Franz with the assist from Wolf 23.
So back up 13-4. Ignite slowing down a bit here in the latter half of this second round. However, just maybe too much of a buffer being built there earlier on. We'll see. There's still 3 minutes left, and that's still enough time, to make up for this deficit. But it's just not as much as maybe Tint wanted.
They definitely would want more time, and they need more time, but they've got to make something happen now. Guygasm losing possession to Ignite, and Ignite immediately sending it down. It will bounce off the crossbar. That shot along the trench will not find its way into the goal, and a pass to tunnel into the hands of Huzzah. Huzzah going for that long shot, and it will be grabbed, and the save will almost go into the goal of Ignite, almost a self-goal. It will go back in the hands of Fair Enough, and There Is No Team looking to start their offensive push towards this bubble.
Yeah, Huzzah doing the work there, the triangle formation on the floor as one up top. Fair enough goes for the brawls again here on multiple goalies. So trying for that attempt, looking for that pass, but couldn't meet the cross to Huzzah.
And into the hands of There Is No Team, but stun out. A couple of stuns back into the hands of Guygasm. There Is No Team looking to get breathing room. You give it up to Fair Enough, avoiding a defender outside the bubble, getting into the bubble and shooting it on that goalie.
So 13-6, less than 2 minutes left. We'll need to see it once more in a very aggressive There Is No Team launching and trying to find. They're definitely going to need to pile in a few threes in here at some point with this amount of time left. And also, White Dragon saying, so I'm saying there's a chance? Why, yes, I am. Regarding ESPN.
Franz back to Wolf. Wolf 23 taking his time along the floor, sending it right back to a VTSX King at the back line. That will go up to Duel. Play that possession game. There's a minute and 10 seconds on the clock. They'll get it above goal. Wolf's going to go in and take it himself at 4 meters.
Yeah, playing the clock very nicely, draining almost 30 seconds off in that entire sequence for Ignite. So that may be enough in itself, even without the score. Just that 30 seconds delay is going to cause a lot of separation regardless. And it looks like maybe this reverse sweep Cinderella story, get it because she cleaned, but the reverse sweep stories for Tint may be coming to an end after how many attempts here? They're still going to go for one more, and a nice cut coming in. Huzzah to Guygasm, but it might be a bit too late, unfortunately, but otherwise still a nice highlight play.
Huzzah able to get into a good position underneath the goal, staring down VTSX King, and then able to find that pass to Guygasm as he boosts into the bubble.
Lanzan saying I keep jinxing the reverse sweeps. No, not at all. I've pointed it out for all of these reverse sweeps ever since the first two. So I'm at least, I guess in the last week or two, I'm down one now as that shot goes in for 3. And that will just end this game very nicely for Dulf. Duel assisted by Wolf. 18-8, that's a 10-point difference, and that's how math works. But it will be the victory ultimately for Ignite. Coming through strong today, winning both of their matches. And having themselves a successful final week of the regular season.
And a big game to end the regular season it is. This is our last week, and I can't wait for the postseason to come. I can't wait for it, and I'm just looking forward to everything from both the European and the American brackets.
Yeah. There's a lot of intriguing stuff to follow very soon here going into qualifiers at Challengers Cup. Basically an open qualifiers there, then the finals qualifiers, and then the finals, the actual finals themselves coming in a few weeks following the Mother's Day weekend. And yeah, it'll be just a lot of entertaining stuff for sure. Hopefully to unfold. I know for that game, again, successful to Ignite. Unfortunately for Tint, you know, maybe going down into that reverse sweep well, just a few too many times, or at least one too many times, as they won't be successful on this attempt. But of course, I mean, when it comes to a gold-ranked team like Ignite, it's going to be a case where you have your work cut out for you no matter what. So, hey. Now, well, it looks like, I'm not sure yet. I wasn't listening to the comms because I muted them for a moment. Are they just going to do the third round here for fun, it looks like, perhaps?
Yeah, they were talking after the second match, and I think they're just going to play through this third match for funsies.
Okay, well, for funsies. Don't know if you wish to join for this, Sputnik, but I think, you know, we can do a little casual look-see at the rest of this third round. I mean, this is our last match of the night after all, so I don't mind.
Well, with possession, fair enough, in this friendly match, nothing is on the line. The first and second round were already won by Ignite. So with possession, Azal on the ceiling, taking his time, finding that pass, but not able to meet its mark. And it will bounce back in the hands of this There Is No Team offense, but they're not able to find that subsequent shot. And it will be a scramble for possession.
And there was a match earlier as well, Infinite versus Spaghetti. I almost thought it was going to the exhibition third round of sorts, and Dave was actually in the chat too. He said, yeah, definitely play that third round exhibition, Palidore, for this stream, but then actually it was not meant to be, as it was not actually a third round exhibition, so I was misled. But nonetheless, Dave did want that one to be streamed, so I figure, hey, we'll stream this one, see if they can have that redemption round as the goal is scored there from Ignite right, right through Dave, it looks like, on that goal.
A little bit of disappointment with that attempted save as it goes through his chest. Just advantage. 2, there is no team. Down by 2. 8 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, and brought this up as well at the end of the Ignite, or of the Infinite and Spaghetti stream. How obviously, going into this season, we had that vote, just seeing kind of where the opinion lied with the best of 3 or play all 3, things like that. It ended up being a case where teams did want and prefer the best of 3 going into season 1. Going for that shot right there is Franz. But I'm curious if we redid that vote, how people would respond at this point, and if they'd want to change, or maybe they want longer rounds. Because I can kind of see the argument. If it only goes to 2 rounds, sometimes 20 minutes can feel a little bit low on the time. I mean, goes either way.
Rad David N to QB, setting it up to Fair Enough in tunnel, and right up to Hazard with this 1v1.
Oh,
trying
boy.
to get that shot off the backboard. It's going to be wacky and wide, bouncing off the backboard and out, but into the hands of Hazard from Rad David N, who will find the dunk in the lower pocket.
Well, Hazard trying for the Steez at first, and again, it's just an exhibition match here at the 3rd round, so the stakes not quite the same, but these teams are going to hold strong, and so are we, just because, once again, anytime we can get a little bit more echo at play, it's always fun to see. And there's no other games interfering, so it's not really a problem whatsoever to cast it.
No, we're having fun. This is a fun little break. We're taking time to enjoy ourselves with the cast, and so are the players taking time to enjoy themselves with the game. So with possession on the floor will be duel to Wolf, and Wolf trying to find a pass above, finding it, but not able to find this shot. It will bounce off the backboard, and again it will bounce off the crossbar. 2 shots off that crossbar. It'll be a scramble for possession.
And also, since this is almost a bounce shot, don't even know what you call that one. You have the cloud, but that one's, I guess, just the boot shot. But either or, Wolf will try for that score and does not get it. Rebounding and saving it is David again with yet again just over and over every single match. He's piling up 2, 3, 4 saves a game, it seems like.
So what's the playoff bracket looking like, or what's the format for playoffs? Because I'm not too familiar with it, and I would like to be refreshed.
I don't know, you can look at the website. But over here, Brad Dave will go for the clear. Sputnik putting me on the spot. But over there to Fair Enough, looking for it. It will be a round robin on that note, but still yet to be determined on the seedings and things like that yet. But where's Andy? He was lobbing me some good caster's assists earlier. Easy to answer questions. As we go over here to the side wall. By the by, again, since this is a kind of a casual game, if anyone does have questions or comments that I can't answer, definitely throw them up to us at chat, or just things in general like that. That's kind of what I use the exhibition matches from earlier in the week. It was Wireless Jacks who had a game. And we just kind of use that to have a nice friendly convo with the chat room as they pleased.
Well, I've got no easy questions for you. I've only got hard ones. So I'll leave it to the chat to pose these questions.
Well, Soisy asking what's up with this round 3. Just an exhibition. The team decided to keep on playing, and since we have this was the final match, we decided to stick with it and see if Tint could convert 1/2 of a reverse sweep and maybe take the match here. No, we're still here.
Yeah, we haven't got it anywhere, but able to find that shot. It'll be slapped in off the backboard by Fair Enough.
And yeah, 4-4 favoring nobody because it's a tie. 4 minutes left though, and minutes going by quick here. Lower scoring overall. The first round, for Soisy's sake here, the first round was 20-7 favoring Ignite, then 18-8. So a big hot topic was definitely just the reverse sweeps that Ignite had been Tint has been racking up every week, it seems like, and not occurring this time. Ignite looking just really in full form.
That was amazing.
As David says, is that intentional? Because that was amazing. And White Dragon's saying in chat, they are starting to believe.
There we go. Yeah. They're starting to believe that there is a team as they do try to maybe make a move here. They're only down by 2, still some time to spare.
Are these all movie quotes? Is that why you're saying these in quotations? And with the shot, and now it will not find its way in the goal and be slapped to the wall by a player from There Is No Team.
And that might be the deal, of course. We were talking about it a little bit before we went live as well. Of course, the logo there, the spoon, a reference to a fairly popular movie that is almost relevant to VR in a sense. Talking about those, I don't know, virtual, somewhat virtual worlds and whatnot. One of my favorite movies.
David, it doesn't go that way.
Of course, I'm talking about Star Wars. Right, Sputnik?
Yeah, I thought it was Star Wars. I thought this was a reference to the Jedi mind trick.
Not quite.
But lo and behold, I was wrong.
That's all right. They're very closely related after all.
It's actually a reference to the extremely popular sitcom Friends.
Yeah, well, I have no friends, but I do have Franz, and he has the disc over here on the bottom of the floor.
And with that clear out towards There Is No Team bubble, it slaps right in.
No. Head butted in, because that was a 3.
Excuse me, head butted in.
Goodness, you rarely ever see that happen. That's why it went off with some fury, because that was a headbutt of a play from Wolf. And talking about his hot game, I know this is just an exhibition round at this point, but holy smokes, talk about the just blazing down the floor with that fiery headbutt. I mean, I think needing to take some Advil there for Wolf, because that had to have hurt.
And another clear into this bubble of There Is No Team. Ignite will pick it up. BTS King with possession, sending it down to Wolf. And Wolf taking his time. After that headbutt goal, they really don't have to do anything. They've already got the steeziest play of the day. So VTS X King will take that shot at 6 meters.
This time assisted by Wolf, and that's 13-4. About a minute 36 left in this final one here. Appreciate all you who joined us today. And once again, I mean, if anyone has any kinds of stuff to drop off for us to answer, especially if you're one of the numerous new viewers or new players to Echo because of the Quest version, definitely let us know in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer anything we can for you before we head off for the evening.
Please give us your questions. You got 1 minute left to do it. So to lose possession in their backfield will be There Is No Team. And of course, NTS Franz to pick it up and get that shot. But Hazal will be there to snag it out of the air.
Anime for Life asking, what am I wearing? Wearing down my voice with all these casts. But I'm really enjoying it so far, as looking for a score. Maybe is Rad David. He's going in with a cut. Has the pass. And fair enough. Puts it home. It's 6 points here for Tint.
What are you wearing? Wearing down my voice? That might be one of the best replies I have ever heard. And with 20 seconds, I can't even read anymore. 20 seconds on the clock. At 13-6, third round exhibition win will go into the hands of Ignite.
Yeah, all 3 rounds. So just a straight up sweep for Ignite in this, more so for a fun game. Started off a little bit loose, and I think over the last several minutes now has gotten a little bit more of a regular kind of scrim feeling to it, slowing it down somewhat and going for some of these, careful passes and things like that. Although the headbutt was pretty steez there, but yeah.
Dude, I'm so tired. We go back to that.
Listening to their chat in game, they're talking about how tired they are, and they're exchanging good games. So a great finish to tonight, and a great round of games all around.
Yeah, it was. Oh boy, Wolf with the mute. But anyways, now Ignite, really good game. Honestly, Wolf. I'm reminding you again. I'm gonna keep the stats just to the 2 rounds on the main screen for you, the score screen, for the sake of officiality, I suppose. But I'll give you a look at the overall round stats, and you can see that was just a dominant performance from Wolf. I mean, look, 18 points, 5 assists, 2 saves, 59 stuns. He's leading in 1, 2, 3, 4 categories, all of them. or 20, never mind, I mistook ping for stuns. Nonetheless, he's leading in 3 out of the 4 categories. That is impressive. I mean, Wolf, you always got to give him his compliments whenever he's in here. He's on any given night, he can light up the board with points, but I mean, just the fact that he got so many assists there as well as a couple saves, that's like a cherry on top of what was a fantastic effort, you know? Love to see it.
Absolutely, and what a great exhibition match to end the night. I'm content. I've got nothing else to say, so I hand it off to you, Palidore.
All right, well, we'll go to this round end screen again. Won't translate those stats to this particular screen. We'll keep it official, as I said, so you can get a look at the highlights and at the stats across the first 2 rounds there as the teams now part ways. And, yeah, we're about to part off here. Let me check real quick. So I just reminded myself of something without Sputnik's help because I remembered for once. Let me check.
Oh, Onward.
Yes, I remembered.
Remind Palidore to host the Onward stream.
Yeah, so we can do that there as we'll part off for the night. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's been really fun. And Anime for Life saying, if someone scores a goal in the woods, does the announcer still scream? Only if you keep asking questions. All right, so with that said, thank you for joining us. I've been Palidore, that's been SputnikKobra. We had Dano McFabulous earlier on in the night, as well as Sir Dimwee on Channel 2. Appreciate all of that interaction and action and all the reaction in chat. And we hope to see you all again mighty soon. In the meantime, as I was saying, we'll try and host Onward here, if we can, in a moment. And you guys can go join there and get some channel points here that I promise you'll be able to use someday, maybe soon. So there we go. We're going to break off for now, though. And with that, thank you, everyone, once again. Be happy, be healthy, be safe, and have a fantastic night.